Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope this angle isn't too like angled, you know what I mean? I'm trying to cover my double chin, but I hope it doesn't look like I'm a fucking toddler. Today we are going to be talking about weight loss myths. So buckle up because we are going to talk about some information that is thrown around as if it's accurate when really it's a load of horseshit. So if you're new here, my name is Jordan, and if you're wondering what qualifies me to talk about weight loss, the answer is nothing. I lost 130 pounds myself, but I actually don't have any formal education in weight loss. I just, wow, I'm really selling myself here. Just as someone who has done a lot of her own research, I have come to find a lot of, information that suggests a lot of these myths are incorrect. So I just wanted to make this video and share all this information and hopefully help some of you who are trying to, start, continue, finish your weight loss or fitness journey, because I think a lot of this information can be super helpful and I just want to fucking spread it. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but I will be talking about 10 common weight loss myths. All right, so myth number 1, you cannot eat after 8 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 9 p.m., whatever the bogus that, they're throwing around. This also goes for the idea that you can't eat carbs after a certain time, but actually it does not matter when you eat. A very common trend you will see throughout this video is that a lot of these myths are grounded in like misinformation about calories and food. It actually does not matter when you eat. Your body could not give less of a fuck. You can eat breakfast if you want to. You don't have to eat breakfast. You can eat at 9 p.m. if you want to. You can eat at 11 p.m. if you want to. What matters in fat loss is that you are maintaining a caloric deficit, and that deficit, like, it doesn't matter when you're maintaining that deficit. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're eating it all in the morning, which I don't suggest because then you're gonna be hungry and miserable. And it doesn't matter if you're eating it all at night. People do fasting, people, follow a bunch of different types of diets, and they all see similar results as long as they're maintaining their deficit. Just do what works best for you and your schedule. Myth number 2, and that is that you have to sweat to lose weight. This, again, is not true. Take it from me, a lot of you know I'm an outdoor runner and I live in Canada. So 8 months out of the year, I am not sweating when I'm running outside because it's too cold, but I'm still losing weight. And that's because when you sweat, you lose water weight, but you don't actually, like, sweating doesn't increase your ability to lose fat. It's just a way to get rid of water weight. So you see all these things telling you that you have to bust your ass in the gym on the elliptical, sweat for 2 hours straight a day. That's not true. Sweat is a sign that you are working harder, but you do not have to sweat to lose weight. You can lose weight by going on casual, leisurely strolls. You do not even have to exercise to lose weight. The most important aspect of weight loss is your caloric deficit, maintaining a caloric deficit. So don't worry if you are in the gym, if you're someone who just doesn't sweat as much as other people, don't stress over it because you do not have to sweat to lose weight. You don't. Myth number 3, you cannot eat sweets or sugar. Like I said, and like I will say again, when it comes down to weight loss and fat loss, the only thing that matters is a caloric deficit. So for example, if you can eat 2,000 calories a day while maintaining a 500 calorie deficit, and you can make a chocolate bar fit in those 2,000 calories, then you can eat that chocolate bar and you will see no weight gain because it's within your caloric goal, right? So you can eat, you can eat fruit, you can eat artificial sugar. Like, obviously certain things are healthier than other things to eat, but when it comes to actual fat loss, the only thing that matters is calories in and calories out. And when I do say this, I'm not saying that like you should only eat chocolate. Obviously, like, there are more balanced diets and there are healthier diets, but when you're talking about fat loss, like explicitly fat loss, the only thing that matters is your caloric deficit. I think the reason why this myth has kind of become so dominant in like weight loss culture is because usually sweets and sugar are higher in calories, right? Like a chocolate cupcake obviously has more calories than an apple. So yes, if you're eating like these things in excess and you're in a caloric surplus, you will gain weight because you are not in a deficit. If you can make a cupcake fit, girl, eat that cupcake. I eat cake every day. I eat chocolate cake every day. If you've seen my what I eat in a day video, you will know I eat chocolate cake every day. You do not have to worry about cutting anything out. You do not have to be super restrictive. All that matters is your caloric deficit. Myth number 4, and this is a big one, and that is that carbs make you fat, or similarly, that fats make you fat. This is a myth that is so far spread that it's hard to convince people otherwise, and it's hard to like actually tell people like, no, that's just not true. It's so ingrained in us. Even people who aren't dieting, it's just like carbs are bad or fats are bad. So there are 3 macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbs. And when you're talking about these macronutrients and caloric value, you'll see that fats have 9 calories per gram, while carbs and proteins only have 4 calories per gram. So yes, fats tend to be more calorically dense, but it doesn't mean that they're inherently gonna make you fat. All you have to do is make sure you eat fewer fats to maintain or to stay within your caloric goal. Fats are just higher in calories in general. That's why like chocolate bars are so high calorie, even if they're like this fucking big. But like I said, if you can keep the amount of fats you eat within your caloric goal, within your caloric deficit, then you will not see fat gain. So for carbs, you often hear carbs make you fat, blah, 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 blah. So the reason for this is that carbs cause water retention. So when you eat a lot of carbs, you retain a lot of water, you gain a lot of water weight. But water weight is not the same as fat gain. So water weight, like, it will disappear. It doesn't mean you've actually put on fat. So for example, when I followed a high carb diet, I would gain about 10 to 15 pounds every day in water weight. And then by the time I woke up, it would all be gone. That's just because I was eating so many carbs that my body was retaining like a shit ton of water, but it's nothing to be concerned about because it's just water. That's why you'll see for a lot of like low carb or keto diets, when they first start, they shed a bunch of weight at the beginning. That's not fat they're losing, it's water weight, because since they've cut carbs completely out of their diet, their body just gets rid of all the water that it's been holding on to. But comparatively, if you were to compare someone on keto versus someone on high carb, if they are in the same caloric deficit, in similar caloric goals, they will lose weight at the same pace. Myth number 5, that there is a single best diet. If you watch TV, if you go on the internet, you will be bombarded constantly with, try this diet, this is the best diet, this diet is scientifically proven to like make you lose the most weight. That is not true. There is no single diet that will like guarantee you to lose weight. Like I said, the only thing that matters is a caloric deficit. What all these diets have in common, all these like commonly successful diets, is that they all just produce a caloric deficit. So don't let anyone tell you that you can only lose weight one specific way. If you want to do keto, do keto. But if you find that keto does not match your lifestyle, do not do keto. So just to give an example, in my personal life, I am vegan. And in my own community, in the vegan community, there is a very large myth that people perpetuate that states you can eat whatever you want when you're vegan just because it's vegan and you will not gain weight. That is the biggest load of horseshit I have ever heard in my life. Oreos are vegan. And you can bet your sweet ass that if I eat an entire package of Oreos tonight, I'm gonna gain weight. Like, this myth is probably grounded in the fact that when you eat vegan, you eat a lot like of foods that have fewer calories, like fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean you're immune to weight gain, right? Because everything still has a calorie count. And if you're in a caloric surplus, you're gonna gain weight. I'm sorry, I know I keep repeating myself about this caloric deficit and caloric surplus, but I mean, most weight loss myths stem from the fact that people just don't understand that losing weight is very straightforward, and the answer is just very clear, and that's that you eat in a deficit. Myth number 6, if you want to lose weight, you'll have to feel hungry. This is kind of when macros come into play. Like I said, fats, carbs, and proteins. Proteins will keep you fuller longer. So if you eat a more balanced diet and you're eating adequate amount of protein, you will feel less hungry throughout the day. So for example, when I was on my high carb diet, I would get hungry very quickly because I wasn't eating enough protein. Not saying that every high carb person doesn't eat enough protein, by the way. So I found myself eating more often and being hungry more often on that diet. Now that I eat a much more balanced diet, I find that I stay full longer. And I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes, especially for me, because I'm always hungry. But this is when you kind of have to differentiate between, are you actually hungry or are you just bored? Because usually I'm just bored and I just want to eat. So if you're eating a balanced diet, you should not feel hungry. Also, if you are eating enough. So that's a big problem that we see in the weight loss community, is that people just do not eat enough calories. If you are eating at an acceptable deficit range and you are eating adequate protein and, you know, giving yourself the nutrients you need, you do not have to feel hungry while losing weight. So myth number 7, and that is that you have to eat 1,200 calories a day to lose weight. I don't know where this 1,200 calories came from, but it's what everyone says. Just eat 1,200 calories and you'll lose weight. And yes, you probably will lose weight because 1,200 calories is very, very low. And unless you are already very light or already very short, it's probably not enough. So you need to eat more. Just remember that every body is different. Everyone weighs a different amount. Everybody has a different body fat percentage and everyone has a different height. So for you, your caloric goal is gonna be different than someone else. There is no concrete answer of how many calories you should be eating. That's gonna be completely dependent on you, your exercise regimen, and yeah, a bunch of other factors. Myth number 8, and that is that you can target certain areas of fat. Unfortunately, this is a myth, and I wish it wasn't, because I want to target my stomach, obviously. People women, for example, will be like, how do I target my tummy rolls but not my ass fat? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, there's no way. Weight is going to come off your body the same way that it went on. So there's no way to only lose fat in your arms, for example. It's not possible unless obviously you get like lipo or like some type of procedure. But in terms of just like natural weight loss, there's nothing you can do. Myth number 9, and that is that to lose weight, you just have to move more. Obviously, moving more is a great thing. If you're more active, you get to eat more, your deficit will be larger, everything like that. But at the end of the day, it does not matter how much you exercise. What matters is your nutrition. Okay, so even if you are burning like 1,000 calories a day, but then you're eating in a caloric surplus, you're still gonna gain weight because you're still eating too many calories. You've probably heard it before, you cannot outrun a bad diet, or you've probably heard before, abs are made in the kitchen, and it is 100% true. Your nutrition is the most important element of your weight loss. You can lose weight without moving at all, as long as you maintain a deficit. Obviously, I don't recommend that. I think you should exercise because it makes you healthier, it makes you stronger, and it just makes you feel better in general. But at the end of the day, you don't have to. All right, so the 10th and final myth about weight loss, and that is that you will gain all your weight back. I hear it all the time from people. They're really afraid that if they lose all their weight, they'll gain it back. And to be completely honest, when I was losing weight, I had that fear as well. We see it all the time. We see people will lose a bunch of weight and then they'll gain it all back. So it's kind of ingrained in us that most people who lose weight will just naturally gain it back over time. Like, it's not inherent. Like, it's not guaranteed to happen. If you work towards developing a healthy lifestyle while losing weight, it will be easier for you to maintain that weight loss in your maintenance phase. For example, if you are over restricting while losing weight, you are developing really negative and unsustainable habits that are kind of gonna fuck you over when you want to maintain, because you're used to restricting, and like your body after a while it just cannot deal with that type of restriction. So eventually you're gonna start binging, and that's when you start seeing weight gain, when you can no longer control how much you're eating. So when you're losing weight, that's when you wanna develop healthy habits. So for me, for example, I've been maintaining for a while now, and I do go like 1 to 5 pounds up and down depending if I've been like cheating or stuff like that. But I am very confident I will never gain back all of my weight because I have the knowledge to know that if I eat in a caloric surplus, I will gain weight. And I have the knowledge to know that if I over restrict, I'm going to binge. So the more effort you put in to developing a healthy lifestyle while you lose weight, the more likely you will have a successful maintenance period. Well guys, that is all for this video. Those are the 10 weight loss myths that I wanted to share with you today. Definitely let me know down in the comments below if you found any of these surprising, or if you have any myths that you would like to add that I skipped over. Yeah, if you're new here, please remember to subscribe if you like my content, like this video, and turn on that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Fuck your Bible and your Bible. Make the song